In this video, I'll show you how to make a final version of your best 3 images for December to make a triptych, combining all 3 images into one document. So a couple different ways you can do this. I'm going to show you the easiest way. So these are my 3 images I'm going to use. One way that you can do this is doing a lot of math. So let's say I know I want to have all my images vertical and they're going to be 5 by 9 inches. And I want a 1/2 inch border in between the images and then all around. So I could add up, 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus the 1/2 inch border, the 1/2 inch in between, the other 1/2 inch in between, and the other 1/2 inch border, so on and so forth. And if you want to do something like this, I can show you how to do that and have a good plan for your dimensions. And then once you get your final dimensions, you can go to File, New, type in the dimensions that you need. So let's say I was doing a 5 by 9, my outside dimensions would be 10 by 17, so 17 wide, 10 tall, hit create, and then I could go to new guide layout under view, and this would help me figure out what I'm going to do. So I have 3 images, so I would need 3 columns. I know that I want to have a 1/2 inch border all around and a gutter of a 1/2 inch, so I would enter that in and then hit OK, and then I would know that I have this space here for my images. And then I could go to my image, click on the crop tool, go to width by height by resolution and change that to 5 by 9 by 300, and then no matter what I do, however I decide to crop this, now I can do Command A, Command C, and plop that right in there and it fits in. Okay, so that's one way you can do it. I'm going to close this and not save it. I'm going to get back to my original image here and close this and not save it. Okay, so the goal is for something like this. I'm going to show you an easier way to do this without having to do much math, which I'm sure you guys will appreciate. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close that out. Don't need that right now. So right now I have my, once this is done saving, I have my 3 images that I want to use. And they're consolidated to tabs, and that's kind of annoying because I have to click back and forth and I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so you could decide that you're going to stick to a particular ratio that's already preset here, or you could type in dimensions, up to you how you decide to do this. Okay, but what I'm going to first do is go to Window, Arrange, and I'm going to look at my 3 images together. So depending on how you shot your images, if they're all horizontal images, you'd probably want to do 3 up horizontal. If they're vertical images, 3 up vertical. Okay, so now I can see them all, which is pretty cool. However, they're zoomed in and it's really hard to see what I'm doing. So what I can do is click on my zoom tool, which is this little magnifying glass down here under the hand. So I'm going to click on the zoom out, and I'm going to select zoom all windows, and now I can zoom out and see the whole image here. Yes, they're really small, but you can work with it. Okay, so now I can click on my crop tool, and I can click on clear, and it will get rid of any pre-entered dimensions. So now I can kind of just figure out exactly how I want to do this. However, this looks good. And you don't have to look at all 3 images while you're doing this part. So let's say I'm happy with that. Click OK. Alright. Now I'm still on the crop tool and I need to crop this image to match this image. So instead of width by height by resolution, I'm going to select front image. Oops, gotta click on the tab here to make that active. Okay. Again, if you sort of go outside of that crop there, you can rotate and straighten things if you need to, whatever you need to do. Okay. Let's say I'm happy there. I'll accept that. Click on this tab down here and do whatever it is you want to do to that image. Okay, so now I have my 3 images. I know that they're cropped to the same size. Now I could actually change my window and go to 3 at vertical, and I'm going to click back on my zoom tool. Zoom all windows is selected. Again, you can also hit Option Shift. Oh no, what is it? Option Shift? Yeah. Or just select the zoom tool. Zoom all windows. And here they go in together. So the idea is you want something that looks like this when you're all done. Okay. So I'm going to click on my Move tool. I am in my left image here, so I'm just going to click on my Move tool, hold the Shift key down, and I'm going to drag it in and plop it right there in the middle. Do the same thing to this image. This is now my active image, the image on the right. Click the Shift key, click, drag, release the mouse, and there it is. So now I don't need this image. I'm going to hit Don't Save because I don't like the crop. Don't save. Okay. So now I have all 3 images, all in separate layers, in the same document. Okay. I'm going to turn off this little lock here next to my background layer. What that's going to do is make this an actual layer. Okay. So I am going to click on layer 1. I'll turn off layer 2 so I can see what I'm doing. And Move tool is selected, and I'm going to click and and again hold the Shift key down, so it's only letting me move left to right. Even if I move my mouse up and down, it's restraining me from only moving left to right. So I'm going to keep dragging until it snaps. Oop, and my computer froze. Awesome. Until it snaps to the edge. And you'll see that pink line telling you that, yep, it's there. And you can see this little selection here. It's telling you that it's out of my viewable area, but don't panic yet. Okay, we're going to get it back. So hold the Shift key down and slide this over, and it'll snap to the edge of your frame there. And now it's saying my layers are blank because I can't see them. Okay, now all I have to do is go to Image, Reveal All. Bam, now your canvas size is the right size to accommodate all 3 images. Okay, and you could leave it like this if you wanted to. I like the white border, I think, or a colored border. You can do whatever you want as far as the border goes. So I'm going to go ahead and add that in. So I'm going to click up back on my Move tool. My active layer is layer 2, the image on the right, and I'm going to hold the Shift key down again, and now use my right arrow. And what that's going to do is move it over 5 pixels at a time. So I'm going to go 1, 2, I'm going to go 3. So that's 15 pixels that I moved it over. That's how much that space is. Click on layer 1, the image on the left, Shift key, left arrow, 1, 2, 3. And again, part of my image got cropped off a little bit now. So I'm going to go to Image, Reveal All, and now everything is back the way it should be. Okay, you can add a new solid color fill. You could do white, you could do like a grayish color, you could do a beige color, I don't know, whatever you think looks good with your image. You know, every image is going to be different, so I'll leave it gray for now. I'm going to drag this underneath, just reorder my layers, and now you can see there's a little bit of like that neutral gray color in the background. So you can leave it like this, but I like a border around the edge as well. So we're going to go to Image, Canvas Size. So right now this is in inches, and we just moved this over by pixels. We know it's 15 pixels, and I don't really, want to do the math with all these decimals and whatnot. So I'm going to change my dimensions from inches to pixels. So 15 plus 15 is 30. So all you have to do is add 30 to this. Not too bad, right, guys? So, oops. So I'll make that 30, and then this is going to be 85. Okay, and I want to have the anchor point as the center. Okay, and then I'm just going to click OK. And that added 15 pixels all around my border. And you could decide that you don't like that necessarily. Maybe you want more. So again, pixels, I'm going to go ahead and add, oops, I'll make that, I'm going to add 40, 8, 5, 8. Wow, it's way too late for me to be doing math. What is that, 12? So that's 20. Okay. And there you go. So now I have a little bit of a bigger border. Zoom out a little bit so you guys can see. Okay, so that's your triptych. So if you have like a weird size that you want to use for your crop, that's totally fine. Just follow these steps. And then you can easily add that into the same document with a nice little border around. Or if you are feeling adventurous, you can do the math and have a plan for your dimensions before you start to crop, and then just create a new document and do a view new guide layout. So that's totally another option if you want to try that. So again, you're going to crop, and then when you crop the first image, you'll change to front image as the dimensions to help you crop the rest of the images. And yeah, so when you're done with all of that, oops, don't crop. Save it as a PSD in your folder, and then flatten it and save it as a JPEG in the Finals Project folder. So have fun with this, and hopefully you get some really cool images. Oh, another thing too, totally forgot to add this. You could, if you wanted to, you can edit your pictures individually before you combine them to get the look you want for each individual image. Or if you wanted to, you could do something that sort of combines them all, you know, like if you wanted to make them all black and white or something like that, you could do that. But it might make sense to do that individually anyway, just to make sure the values are the way you want them to look. But that might look kind of cool. So totally up to you. Either edit before, or you can do something afterwards to unify them, or let them all sort of be really individual. Okay, so have fun with this, and I look forward to seeing your finished products. Thanks.